morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Nemo with Heart Solutions. I'm a BHIS provider based out of Waterloo. And so today I'm going to be talking to you about one of the main activities that I like to go through with a lot of my clients, as well as some of the different lessons and stuff I try and teach through that. So one of the main activities that I bring with me is something called Buildsy here. So really simple. What's happening is that each person involved is going to get 8 individual puzzle pieces, okay? So the main point of this activity is to build up a freestanding structure without it falling down. So it takes a lot of patience, it takes a steady hand, and if needed, a little bit of help, okay? So that's the main thing that I try and use this activity for, is you're prompted with a certain structure. So there's an example right there. Okay, I'll go ahead and set this here. And then what my goal is to do is to try and build this up as quick as possible, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that and see how far we can get. So, boom, boom. So, as you can see, it's pretty simple. However, there definitely can become a certain point where you get pretty close to finishing, and then let's say that you get a little shaky, and then something knocks off. Well, then you gotta kind of start over again. And so the main reason why I like to teach this activity is not only to practice patience as well as a steady hand, but it's also to try and utilize that same skill of asking for help. Sometimes, whenever we're dealing with certain struggles or things in life, whether that's with family or school, it's difficult to express those emotions in a way that seems healthy. And so one of the main things we want to try and do is help build up young people to feel like they have the necessary tools equipped to succeed in those situations where they feel like they might be out of control. So as we continue to build these structures, we continue to go through that lesson of patience. Now, another thing that I like to do with this is we will take each color that we have structured here and we will associate it with a different aspect of life, whether that's family, let's say anger management, not listening to parents, not caring about school, things of that nature, right? And so we can see that these are all things that are very applicable to a young person's life. And these are all things that are behaviors that can be improved upon. But let's say if one thing gets knocked off, then the whole entire structure comes falling down. If there's one thing that we just don't care to work on, whether that's improvement in communications with parents or with friends or doing our homework on time, then that can knock one puzzle piece off and everything comes crashing down. Now, the main thing that I like to say with this is that while it might be difficult, there are certain coping skills and tools that we can use to try and help us better control those emotions and better control those situations in our lives. And so if we're able to do that properly, what we can have is a freestanding structure where we can have all of those difficult things in life balanced out. And if we have those things balanced out, then hopefully, right, we can have a successful and nice outcome at the end. Like a standing structure that is strong on its own without needing a bunch of help all the time, right? So we can become independent people that are able to kind of hold our own and do well. So that's a quick lesson from me. I hope that this is something that maybe you can consider doing, either just with your peers or families, if that's something that you're looking to practice. And yeah, definitely come check us out if you feel like this sort of service would be helpful for you. And if you do, we look forward to seeing you. Take care.
Behavioral Health Intervention Services, or BHIS as we call it, is for children ages 4 to 19 years old, and it focuses on behaviors that appear at home and in school. So BHIS is an in-home counseling program through Medicaid, and it's available to children that are currently on Title 19. So BHIS is just an excellent complement to therapy services because therapy is more about uncovering the why of the issue, while BHIS is more about addressing the how of improving our behaviors in those symptoms that are typically associated with things out of our control. So there are many ways to identify if your child or other children you know could benefit from BHIS. A few examples are if your child's having difficulty concentrating or following directions, if a child is being bullied, or if you've noticed a change in eating or sleeping patterns, if you've noticed a difficulty in adjusting to a move or the drastic change of social distancing, or if the child is having difficulty resolving the behavior on their own. If you think that your child or your family can benefit from BHIS services, please call us at our toll-free number, 800-531-4236. Heart & Solutions would love to help you and your family navigate difficult emotions in any time of the year. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you think you or a loved one could benefit from behavioral health intervention services.